Hey everybody, you're listening to the Ask BP podcast, and today we're talking about key milestones for new investors. Stay tuned.
You're listening to another BiggerPockets Ask BP podcast, where you'll hear short, direct answers to your biggest real estate questions. Submit your question today on Facebook, Twitter, or the BiggerPockets forums by using hashtag AskBP. And don't forget to pick up your copy of the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Real Estate Investing and other great content when you sign up for your free account at BiggerPockets.com. With that, let's get to the show.
All right, today's question comes from Alec from Florida, and he's asking, what are 3 key investment milestones that let me know I'm making progress as a new investor? This is a great question, and while there are not any 3 events that necessarily show that you're going to be a successful real estate investor, there are certainly events that show that you're making progress. I'm going to pick the 3 that I thought were most significant in demonstrating my capability and financial wherewithal in purchasing my first real estate investment. The first of these is going to be my demonstration of my financial capacity to buy real estate by getting a pre-approval from my bank. The second milestone for me was in successfully analyzing my first deal and determining it to not be worth my time. And the third was going to be making the offer on my first property. Now, to kind of give you more insight onto these 3 milestones, we'll dig into each of them one by one. The first of these milestones, again, is the financial capacity to buy real estate. In order to be financially capable of buying real estate, you will need to bring either cash or a pre-qualification or pre-approval letter from your bank. So if I have $100,000 in cash and I'm looking to buy a $100,000 property, that's easy. I don't need to, I'm financially capable to buy that property, and I've already crossed that milestone. Most new investors do not have $100,000 in cash and therefore need to get financing from a bank. So this step is really easy as long as you are taking care of your finances over the last couple of years or months even. And basically what you need to do is you need to have some cash of your own and a history of income and a good credit score. If you have all those 3 things, all you got to do is pick up the phone and call a couple of lenders and confirm those types of information with your lender. The lender will then draft a pre-qualification letter, and you can use that when you're offering on a property to demonstrate the seriousness of your capacity to buy real estate. I'm not going to sell someone a property, my house, if they're not able to actually buy the property from me, and that the pre-qualification letter from the bank indicates that I'm likely to be able to buy the property. Now you can go a step further, and a lot of people on BiggerPockets recommend that you do, and you can actually go ahead and get pre-qualified or pre-approved for your home purchase. And what you do there is you'll actually go through the formal credit check and financial verifications that the bank will go through when they're actually going to underwrite a mortgage for you. This is a more intensive process, and again, will include things like government IDs, tax returns, W-2s, a credit. They're going to pull your credit history. And so, in my case, I didn't actually go through that process until after I had offered on the property. But and the pre-qualification letter was enough in my case for the seller to take me seriously. Either way, having either the pre-qualification letter or the pre-approval letter is a good milestone for a new investor to demonstrate that they're capable of purchasing real estate. The second milestone comes when you actually go ahead and start analyzing deals. Now, you're gonna come across lots of potential deals. Every property on the market is a potential deal for a new investor. And for me, one of the great things that I did was I looked at a property, I ran it through the BiggerPockets calculator and through my own Excel spreadsheet, and I determined, hey, this property is definitely not going to work. I'm going to lose money every single month if I buy that property. Now, that may not seem like a milestone to most people, but looking back, it actually was a big milestone because it allowed me to make the determination, hey, I know what's not a good deal. That really helps when you're screening, dozens or hundreds of deals over the course of many months. If you can quickly and easily start screening out the bad deals, you're going to isolate and be able to look at just the good ones. When that good deal finally did come along, I was able to analyze it quickly and move quickly because I had demonstrated my capacity to purchase the property, and I had analyzed a lot of bad properties. So that brings us to the third milestone, which is actually offering on the property. While this is actually, not the hardest process in the world, you can simply contact your agent. And in my case, I contacted my agent and told her I was ready to move forward with an offer at the price that I was offering. What it does do is it signifies a seriousness to purchase real estate. I brought $5,000 in earnest money of my own cash to the closing table. If I had backed out of that deal for a bad reason, I would have lost or potentially lost that $5,000 in earnest money. That demonstrates my seriousness and is another big step forward in any investor's, is a big milestone for any new investor. So those are the three milestones that I think are critical for new investors. Again, there's lots of different events and things that will happen to you on your journey to finding your first investment property, but those three really demonstrate a seriousness and capacity to buy and invest in real estate over the long term. All right, now for today's success quote of the day. This comes from one of my favorite historical figures of all time, Mr. Benjamin Franklin, and he says, "An investment in knowledge pays the best dividends." I love that quote. I think that signifies the importance of education, analysis, thinking through things, logic, finding mentors, finding people to work with and network with. All of that is investing in your knowledge base, and that's going to pay far better dividends than than any other investment you can make with your time. Though Ben said that an investment in education is the best investment you can make, remember, in pursuit of your goals and dreams, don't just learn, but take action. For the Ask BP podcast, this is Scott Trench signing off.
You've just heard another episode of the BiggerPockets Ask BP podcast. Submit your question today on Facebook, Twitter, or the BiggerPockets forum by using hashtag AskBP. And for more incredible real estate investing tools and education, including a free download of our book, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Real Estate Investing, head over to BiggerPockets.com and sign up for your free account today. We'll see you on the next show.